So, Andrew, a lot of people that attended college are well aware that when they graduate, they're going to have a real big dark cloud hanging over their head known as student loans, right?
Right.
We all understand how this can be a major issue for so many people in America today. But I would like to say, Andrew, that help is on the way because there is legislation that has actually been discussed known as the Secure Act 2.0 that may help you pay down that enormous student loan debt. So I want you to stay locked into this video today so you can understand that your retirement doesn't have to be compromised simply because you have this big cloud of student loan debts that you have to pay off. Hi, my name is Carson Graves, President and CEO of the Retirement Education Center.
And my name is Andrea, Director of Operations at the Retirement Education Center. And the reason we've created these educational videos is to help to make the difficult and confusing retirement process simple.
Absolutely, Andrew. And we do this by, incorporating a team of strategic partners ranging from certified financial analysts, certified financial planners, estate attorneys, insurance advisors, and other needed professionals to help us build a comprehensive and holistic roadmap for our clients that's going to let them know when, where, and how they can reach their retirement goals.
For specialized strategies on how to maximize your retirement income, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell to be notified when we upload new videos.
Andrew, the next biggest crisis that we may witness here in America may not be a pandemic. It actually may be the default factor of student loan debt. With so many people now maybe unemployed, and you also have people who are underemployed, and they are already struggling to actually pay their bills. And then when you add on the enormous amount of student loan debt to go along with it, it's making it very difficult for people to decide if they can save money or not. And we know that savings in America is already a crisis within itself. And so the saddest part about this, Andrew, is that when you graduate from college, and you find that job that you always wanted, the next step is what? To actually start saving into your 401k. So, but you have to make a decision, right? Do I put money in my 401k and pay for my student loans and then try to eat and work off of whatever is left? Or do I decide to compromise my retirement for right now and go ahead and try to tackle this huge debt, and then you'll start saving later? But the biggest issue now is, what if you could actually do both? And thankfully, lawmakers are actually taking a look at legislation that may allow your employer to assist you along the way while you actually pay down that large student loan debt. And that's what we're going to cover in today's short educational video. But before we get into that, there are always two rules to your retirement income that we always like to give you. And Andrew, what are those two rules?
Well, rule number 1 is to never run out of money. And rule number 2 is to never forget rule number 1.
So let's go ahead and talk about how you may be able to have your employer contribute to your 401k while you decide to put more efforts towards that student loan debt. And at least maybe you can meet those two in the middle at some point down the road. All right, so let's go ahead and take a deeper dive and take a look at how you may be able to have an employer contribute to your 401k, your matching 401k plan, while you're also allowed to pay down your student loan debt. So let's take a look at this real quickly here. So there was an IRS ruling, I'm sure you're probably not familiar with this, that took place a couple of years ago. It doesn't represent a ruling for all employers, but it was a general ruling that actually took place where an employer will be able to make matching contributions to a 401k plan, even if you, the employee, are not making any contributions to that plan, as long as you're making your student loan debt payments. That's very important. Now, this particular ruling is actually playing a big part into the Secure Act 2.0 that is coming down the pipeline right now in legislation. Now, if you don't understand what the Secure Act is, we highly encourage you to go and take a look at our video that we created about the Secure Act so you can know more about that. But there is a Secure Act 2.0 that will make this particular ruling a possibility for all employers who actually want to participate with that. So let's understand exactly how this may work. Let me give you a quick example. Let's say the employer matches actually 5% of your salary. And then you as an employee, in order to get that particular match, would have to contribute, let's say, a minimum of 2% of your salary. So you would have to commit at least 2% of your salary in order for the employer to actually get that 5% match in this particular example. But with that being the case, the employee instead does not have to make the match into the 401k. What you can do is take that 2% or even more and actually pay that towards your student loan debt. And then at that moment, if you're doing that, your employer then has the opportunity to contribute that 5% matching into your 401k. So you have a double effect there. Your employer is contributing to the 401k, while you're also then contributing to your student loan debt and paying that down over time. So you don't have to actually make that decision of an either or.
So Carson, I know on other videos you've explained the pros and cons. So could you tell us about the pros and cons on this particular matter?
Well, yeah, Andrew, there are, no matter what you look at and no matter what bills are passed to try to do good, there are always going to be some things that are going to be compromising. That's just the way it is. We always tell people you can't let perfection get in the way of progress, because this is actually heading in the right direction to help people alleviate those student loan debts. So, one of the benefits, I say, of actually this particular law is that it's going to really give you a tax-free benefit if you're the employee, because anytime that an employer is matching you inside of your 401k, that matching is not a taxable situation. Also, a second thing, Andrew, of course, as I mentioned, that as you're actually having that employer, pay into that 401k, you're then allowed, of course, to pay down that debt in a more accelerated manner and not feel like you're not going to be able to take advantage of what we've talked about before, the time value of money. But on the other side of that, there are some downsides that you can look at when in this situation. But because for one thing, since you're not contributing to that 401k, as we mentioned on our prior videos, you're not going to be receiving a tax deduction from your income. So that may be, something that you have to think about as a compromise when you're looking at this particular situation. Also, when you're looking at what your employer may be matching as it relates to your income, it may not even amount to the size of the debt that you're paying on that student loan. But that's okay. I mean, like I said, you cannot have a compromise and not have some things that are not going to be lacking in that situation. So, but in overall, my assessment of this is that if I could have my employer contribute to my 401k, while I then take my portions of my income to pay down that student loan debt, maybe even faster, that's a win for me. So what I want to do now is go back to my educational slides and show you exactly how effective this could be when your employer is putting money into your 401k while you're allowed to pay down that student loan debt. I'm going to give you a scenario to take a look at and see how this could be a major benefit to you. So let's really take another look at a really good example of how this may benefit you if your employer would implement this particular ruling within their 401k plan, which I think would be an excellent idea for those people who actually have a large amount of student loan debt and they want to actually pay it down, but they also know that they want to take advantage of the time value of money and start making contributions to their 401k as well, because time is your biggest asset when you're talking about trying to plan for retirement. So let's just take a look at Mrs. I Don't Know. So let's say Mrs. I Don't Know, she has a salary of $50,000 when she actually takes a job right out of college. She's making $50,000 and her employer matches 5% of her salary. So she wants to actually, pay down that student loan debt that she has, but obviously she has to make a decision. So her employer is actually kind enough to actually have this plan in place for their employees. So they can actually contribute on an annual basis $2,500 to that 401k, while Mrs. I Don't Know is able to pay down that student loan debt. Well, after some careful research, we understand that the average time for people to pay off a student loan debt is typically about 20 years. Yeah, I know that seems harsh. I mean, the average time for you to pay down that student loan debt is about 20 years. So let's just take a look at this $2,500. If it was able to earn 6% over that 20-year time frame in which Mrs. I Don't Know was paying down that student loan debt. Now, this would have accumulated to almost $92,000 for Mrs. I Don't Know. So when she has paid down that debt and she now can start contributing to that 401k as well, she doesn't have to start from ground zero. She can start ahead of the game. And so she didn't have to make that critical decision at that time, losing the possibility of the time value of money in order to accumulate some dollars for her long-term retirement situation. So I hope this information was beneficial, and I really do hope that, if you have a lot of student loan debt, you may want to check with your plan administrator and see if your employer is participating in this particular way to help you to reduce that student loan debt as well. So no matter what your situation may be, as always, you're going to want to consult with your own financial advisor or tax advisor about what you can do or what you should not do. So I really hope that this video, for those of you who have student loan debts, maybe gave you some hope in that you may still be able to have a 401k savings plan while paying down your student loan debts if Congress actually implements this in what they know as the Secure Act 2.0. Please remember that these videos are created for educational purposes only, and that you should always seek out your own financial advisor, your own tax advisor, and or attorney about your particular situation. If you are looking for a fiduciary advisor to help you with these types of complex financial matters, please feel free to click on the link provided in the description below and just learn how you can become one of our high-value clients. For more information about this particular topic or any subject matters in our prior videos, feel free to reach out to our office or leave any questions or comments in the section below.
To learn more about our services and how we can help you to increase your chances of not outliving your retirement savings, make sure to click on the link in the description below and sign up for our free Maximizing Your Retirement Income Masterclass. After this video, please check out our other videos that we've created that will give you tips on how to maximize your retirement. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and share it with a friend. Thanks for watching, and remember, if you have questions,
we have answers.